What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Price Man reacting to another video here on YouTube. This time I'm gonna react to a video by Shoeonhead about women hating on hot women. So I'm gonna quote the great Al Bundy. Don't try to understand women, because women understand women and they can't stand each other. So there's a lot of truth in that. I even noticed that growing up. Women hate on other women a hell of a lot worse than even the most punk ass man hating man could ever even dream of. All right. So just to be clear, I'm not a fan of misandry or misogyny, but women really are. Whew, you think they're vicious to men? Ooh, they really tear each other apart. That's for sure. But let's play the video.
So, if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't heard that Sydney Sweeney was in an American Eagle commercial.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause it right there. Shout out to the white queens out there. Majority of my partners have been full white. There's been two exceptions. I've dated one girl that's half white, half Korean. The other one's actually a Mexican girl. I never thought I'd date a Mexican girl in my life, but hey, those have been the two exceptions. Most of them have been white, and they are very attractive. That's for sure. Hey, man. But there's more to life than looks, though. All right.
That's great genes.
Get it? Jeans? Jeans? Because she's attractive? And she is. I can see why men like her. She has a really cute face and a nice body. But personally, my favorite thing about Sydney Sweeney is that she's a Nazi. Did they mean to include a bunch of Nazi dog whistles in this? How the f did she agree to this? Actual Nazi ad. The only way Sydney Sweeney would be okay with doing an ad like this is if she was a Nazi.
This is Nazi shit.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
Some of you guys might be too young to remember, but back in the day when an ugly girl was jealous of a pretty girl, she would simply call her a whore. But that's a good thing now, so we have to call her racist. I am going to be completely honest, I have no idea what movies Sydney Sweeney is in. All I know, she is a very popular celebrity, and I always see discourse on Twitter about her being mid. What is wrong with you people? Who is not mid nowadays? I saw Anne Hathaway get called mid the other day. Anne Hathaway. If these women are mid, I'm like a sub-zero. I'm like a -2. I am like a horseshoe crab on the bottom of the ocean. Horseshoe crabs are pretty base, though. 445 million years.
Hey, horseshoe crabs are God's perfect creation. Evolution for what? Perfect since day one.
No evolution. That's me. Millions of years on YouTube, no evolution. Sydney Sweeney has like a fun, bubbly personality. She seems like she enjoys being feminine, and it seems like she doesn't hate men, which is a big plus. She really plays into the, like, I'm a hot blonde bombshell, I have big titties thing, which, are we back to liking titties as a society? Didn't Kim Kardashian deflate her ass recently? That's how I knew the ass fad was over. The fall of Kim Kardashian's ass and the rise of Sydney Sweeney. Besides, ass, No, I don't objectify women. I respect women, okay? The only thing that matters to me is a woman's mind. And thighs. What is like the male body equivalent to this debate? Abs or arms? Personally, I love a good forearm. I love a good, nice, thick, manly wrist. And you know what looks great on a wrist? A watch. Which brings us to today's sponsor, Holtzkern. So let's quickly give them a shout out before we get into today's video, shall we? Holtzkern is a young Austrian
So I'm gonna let the full ad play out of respect for her, so enjoy the ad.
Company that creates unique watches, jewelry, and accessories using all natural materials like wood and stone. Their high-quality timepieces come in
And
various...
actually, I'm interrupted. And no, I'm not simping for this broad. But, if she was a dude doing this, I'll, let the ad play out of respect as well. So, let the ad play.
various designs for both men and women, making them the perfect choice for any style or occasion. All of Holzgren's products are manufactured in small quantities to ensure responsible and ethical production, while making sure each item is built to last. I personally love the kaleidoscope watch with the little flower design on the pearl dial. I think it is so beautiful and so cute. I'm obsessed with it. The glass is made of sapphire crystal, making it scratch resistant, while the strap is crafted from koa wood, and it's water resistant as well. There's also the Moonrise watch, which is made from genuine white marble and stainless steel. It shows the weekday, date, and even the current moon phase, which is really cool. I think all their products make very beautiful gifts, and since they're all made from natural materials, they're all very unique. All their items come with a 2-year warranty, and ordering online is super easy with free worldwide shipping within 5 to 9 business days. And if you're in the US, don't worry, Holzgren handles the custom feeds for you, so no unexpected drama there. Just click my link in the description below and use my special discount code SHOE to get 15% off your order. Plus, if you additionally sign up for their free premium club membership, you'll get access to exclusive products, special discounts, and early pre-sales. But if you only want to check things out for now, no pressure, you can just sign up, come back later, and you'll still get a special discount on your first purchase. So if you're looking for a unique gift or just want to treat yourself to a nice watch, I highly suggest checking out Holzgren. Big thank you to Holzgren for sponsoring this video, and now, let's get back to it. My jeans are brown. Sounds like I shit my pants.
The woke outrage over Sydney Sweeney's ad has gone from, well, bad
Hey, shout out to Shoeonhead, man. She is definitely a funny broad, that's for sure.
to worse.
Some people have taken issue with the phrase great genes being used over images of a blonde, blue-eyed woman.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
TikTok and Twitter absolutely blew up with thousands and thousands of people calling this ad fascist propaganda. Yes, they literally took the jeans and jeans pun to be some kind of Nazi dog whistle because Sydney Sweeney is an attractive blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman, which apparently has been an extinct species for so long in advertisement that when people saw this, they got scared and thought they saw the ghost of Hitler. Is Sydney Sweeney a Nazi? No. But do these people kind of have a point about this ad? Also no. They are unwell. But let's hear them out. Let's watch some of these TikToks. Let's listen to them. Listen to their points. We're not gonna be mean. We're not gonna own the libs, okay? We are going to hear them out.
You guys are complaining about that, Sydney.
You know, she looks like one of those discount rockabilly chicks. And before people think I'm trying to diss rockabilly chicks, hey, I love the horror pops and the whole psychobilly movement with, you know, Reverend Horton Heat, the Necromantics, Coffin Cat, stuff like that. That's a good sounds right there for sure. But yeah, no. I said, look, we all get old. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
That's Nazi propaganda.
Holy 2014 Tumblr. What the f? Out here looking like she walked straight out of a Stone Toss comic. Looking like you're
She said Stone Toss. Hey, look that up, guys. Stone Toss comic. That's funny as hell. But yeah, let's continue this.
going on the thumbnail of this video. Listen, if your bangs end in the middle of your forehead, you don't have to tell me your political opinions. I know them. I can tell. Okay, sorry. I got it out of my system. Let's continue.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird.
So this commercial was apparently a reference to an old Brooke Shields commercial from the 80s.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. This may result in the origin of an entirely new species. Which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Oh my god, she turns into a swastika. She was like 14 in that ad, by the way. Really creepy. So at least Sydney Sweeney is of legal age. 14 is actually pretty old for Brooke Shields if you know her history and her lore. If anything, that is the most up thing about this Sydney Sweeney ad, referencing an old ad of a child star who was abused by Hollywood. But yeah, it was a callback to an old commercial. And Sydney Sweeney is the current day hot celebrity, so they chose to do it with her. They unfortunately failed to consider the fact that in current year, white people are not allowed to say that they have good genes, because that is Nazi propaganda.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster.
A white, blonde, blue-eyed, Hitler's wet dream talking about how much she loves her genetics. It's not just giving eugenics, it's giving male fantasy.
I like how eugenics and being attractive to men are like equally terrible things to these people.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany.
Why do they all speak the same? Why do they all do the same shit? They all say the same shit. It's giving. It's giving.
Put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes. I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda.
It's giving. Also, the flesh-colored microphone? Why? It's giving dick, okay? It's giving peace. It's giving
I can't believe I actually have to explain this, but there is a reason that they picked a girl named Sydney Sweeney for this ad, and it's not just her blonde hair and her blue eyes. Sydney Sweeney is laying with her German Shepherd dog in this shoe. Her name is Sydney Sweeney, so her initials are SS. They intentionally included her German Shepherd dog in the photo shoot.
Oh my god. Take your meds. Meds, 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 meds. Her name is Sydney Sweeney. Her initials are SS, like the Nazis. The dog is a German Shepherd. German, like the Nazis. Are they putting crack in birth control nowadays? What is going on? She is a hot woman. She is a hot woman because of the way she looks. She looks the way she looks because of genetics. She has great genes. That is how a normal person sees it. She's blonde and has blue eyes and her initials are SS and she has a German Shepherd. Is how a schizophrenic, politically brain-rotted person sees it.
Hi, thanks for calling American Eagle. This is Jess. How can I help today?
Hi, I am a marketing student and was wondering if I could speak to someone who could maybe give me some insight as to what estimated return on investment there has to be willing to use white supremacy and eugenics as your marketing campaign.
What is this person trying to accomplish? Like, real shit. Like, what that person on the other end of that phone, that poor customer service agent, that they don't get paid to worry about shit like that. Come on now. Stop harassing people. That person's just trying to make some money. Come on, what's wrong with you, girl?
On a marketing campaign?
Harassing some poor worker. Doesn't even fucking speak English. Has all to do with the commercial. These people are sick.
Yes, I recently saw American Eagle's eugenics marketing campaign where they used that white blonde girl and talked about how good her genes were in a time where racism is rampant in the U.S.
I see. Thank you for taking time to share your feedback.
Why are you bothering this random-ass Filipino woman with your West Wing-ass TED Talk? Nobody gives a
Okay, so there's no way to, as a student, I can't learn about when eugenics makes sense in marketing? No one on the marketing team can talk to me about that?
I miss like 50 years ago when these people would just be serial killers instead of doing whatever the this is. She's even got other celebrities seething.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Haha, she did a dumb redneck voice, get it? Because all white people are dumb inbred hicks. Good one, Doja. Hey, by the way, why are you pandering to the same exact people who got your ass canceled for wearing a Sam Hyde shirt once? They all think you're racist too, girl, but nice try. Hope they see this.
Doja Cat is making fun of Sydney Sweeney's ad only because she realized after all those years of her kissing up to white supremacists, they're never going to accept her because she's a half-black woman. Wearing the Sam Hyde shirt, you dating all these white supremacists. So make fun of the ad all you want, but we'll never forget you rolling around in those chat rooms showing white supremacists your feet so they can make fun of your black ass.
Oh, they did see it, and they still hate you.
Weird adverts aside about how the best genes are characterized in a conventionally attractive white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. Not true. I mean, look at me.
Now, I want to interject here a little bit. So I look Mexican, but I'm actually a mixed man. half white, half like Namaste Indian. My mom's from Trinidad, but I look Mexican. So I don't really like to get into the race thing because if I try to talk about my culture and stuff, people look at me like I'm full of shit. So you know how there's some people who identify as like non-binary or genderless? Well, I'm gonna start a new phrase. It's called I am non-racial or raceless. All right. So I always find this shit a little comical when people start talking about this shit because, yeah, I just like it's really not that big of a deal. But I will say I went down to the Asian Center, the Asian Pacific Islander Desi Center at my university, and I went up there to sign up. Right, the lady was like, "Oh, you trying to support one of your friends?" I was like, "Well, no, I'm actually half Asian," and she gave me a look like, "Oh." Okay, yeah, come to one of our events. I went to that event, man. I felt so out of place, so I never went back. So again, I am raceless or non-racial, but I'm gonna continue this video.
5 years, or as soon as she shows any sign of aging, that's it. The moment she becomes visibly over 25.
Enjoy the ride now, babe, before you get too old and ugly and hit the wall. But wokely. This is just something I've noticed in the decade of criticizing feminism on the internet. Male feminists are the most misogynistic, sexist freaks ever when they finally have an acceptable, approved target to go after. God forbid you are a woman with the incorrect opinion, because hell hath no fury like a male feminist replying to you.
A strawberry blonde, blue-eyed woman marketing having great...
Bro, these male feminists are something else. They're like that whole quote-unquote trademark nice guy, you know, sitting there begging for a crumb, a sniff, a whiff of some kitty cat from abroad, you know. And I'm gonna pause right there. I'm not saying go be an asshole to women, like a complete asshole. I don't have it to be an asshole like that. But you know, don't sit there and fucking grovel to these fucking people. These fucking male feminists are fucking pathetic. They're fucking pathetic.
Genes. This is just a whole fucking eugenics campaign, and I, for one, would like to throw myself off a balcony.
Do it. Do a backflip. Live stream it. Also, these people just straight up don't know what the eugenics movement is. Talking about genetics is not eugenics. Sydney Sweeney did not say she had the best genes or superior genes or that other people had bad, inferior genes. Someone even made it like a fake ad, like, Beyonce has better genes, and it's like, why'd you pick the picture where she has like a blonde wig on?
This campaign is poking at women's greatest and most tender insecurity under the patriarchy, which is desirability and the beauty standard. It affects not only non-white women, even though this is clearly white supremacist, Aryan race propaganda, but it also adversely affects the majority of white women who do not naturally have blonde hair and blue eyes. Because yes, even the women who can achieve this look have to do it through artificial means in one way or another. The vast majority of white women are not naturally blonde. And of course, lots of white women are also insecure about having brown eyes. So that's a whole generation of young white women who are being further propagandized to purchase blonde hair dye and contacts for the rest of all time.
Okay, what? Are attractive women just not allowed to model anymore because, like, God forbid it makes some other women insecure? And as someone with brown eyes, I've never once felt insecure about having brown eyes. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into hyperborea, but I've seen myself photoshopped with blue eyes. Horrifying.
Yeah, that's not a good look for you, Shu. Definitely, yes. Definitely the brown eyes suit you more than that fake blue-eyed picture there. But, yeah, I mean, the whole argument with the previous lady, it's like, look, I myself am 5'10", right? You know, I'm not going to go hate on someone who's over 6 feet tall. Like, that makes no damn sense. I'm supposed to go up to be like, I don't know, Sauce Gardner and be like, hey, Sauce Gardner, I don't like the fact that you're over 6 feet tall and making millions in the NFL. Like, that makes a whole lot of no sense. So it's the same concept, you know. Hey, there's going to be people that are going to look better than you, taller, slimmer, what have you. You just got to play the hand that you dealt, you know. It is what it is. And for them, it's, what is that short story? It was by Kurt Vonnegut. It was called Harrison Bergeron. It's, you can see it in the compilation, Welcome to the Monkey House. So Welcome to Monkey House. I forgot the exact title, but something like that. It's a collection of his short works, and basically society is dystopian, and they put little handicaps on people who are more attractive, tall or things like that. So, for example, if someone's really attractive and they can sing well, they put like a microchip in their ear and it starts ringing and it kind of discombobulates them. And so they can't maximize their look. So they'll have them wear like hideous masks and do a little bit of disfigurement to them. So definitely don't want to have that happen either. So shout out to Kurt Vonnegut for making that story. That's a story, I think, from the 60s, 50s or 60s. And I remember reading that in grade school. And that stuck with me ever since. I'm a grown-ass man now. But I really like that story. But back on this, I mean, just because someone looks better than you, you can't shame them because you're not on their level physically. It's like, that's nonsense. That they need to start talking to some of these people about that. It's like, enough's enough. But let's go back to the video.
So we've gone from Nazi propaganda to genocide to racism to now poor little girls are gonna feel insecure because they don't have blue eyes like Sydney Sweeney.
Another thing about the Sydney Sweeney beauty standard that is very important to note is that big boobs are a hallmark of what conservative men are attracted to. At the end of the early 2000s and through the 2010s, we were becoming a more progressive society, and so we also naturally progressed to be a more ass-centric society.
In the 2000s, we were becoming more progressive, so we started objectifying women's butts. What? The communist utopia will be ass-centric, apparently. I didn't know the ass first thing was political. How does she know conservatives are all boob men? Conservatives in the audience, are you a boobs or butt guy? What political affiliation are the feet men? Libertarians.
I mean, as long as she's not flat-chested and has something to grab down there, I'm more of like a nice frame and leg type of dude. And then a girl with nice hands. And I always check out a girl's hands. So that's just me though. But continuing on the video.
Listen, they can try to disguise it with their little intersectionality buzzwords all they want, but at the end of the day, women just want a socially acceptable reason to hate other women. That's it.
Good genes passed on to offspring? That American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort, is also eugenics.
1 second. "2025. We are talking about wearing masks for COVID in 2025. I like how she's woke scolding the other woke scolds for not woke scolding about her particular pet issue. COVID broke the brains of so many of these people, man. It's because it's when the world was just a giant, safe HR longhouse where it was socially acceptable for them to be moral busybodies and never leave their home. It was like the closest to their lib shit utopia that we have ever gotten, and they miss it.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we live in a predominantly white country. If you go to another country, there will be a different beauty standard. If you go to the country of your ancestors, there will be a different beauty standard, and maybe it will look more like you. But again, she didn't say her genes were better or the best, and it's not like all the hot popular celebrities look like Sydney Sweeney. Look at Ana de Armas, look at Zendaya. They don't look anything like Sydney Sweeney, and they are known as very beautiful around Hollywood. This is why corporations and the media think in order to pander to the female gaze, everything has to be like average and frumpy and ugly, because women can't stop fucking projecting their insecurities. Not every character in a movie or a video game has to look like you. Not everyone in an ad has to look like you. Hell, the only time I see people who look like me is when I turn on the live-action Grinch movie. You notice men never say this shit, by the way? They usually go like, wow, that man is strong. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And women are like, wow, that woman is thin. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go complain.
What makes it...
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, when I see, a dude in shape, I'm like, bro, it makes me want to get off my fat fucking ass and go hit the fucking gym harder. Because I see that, I'm like, damn, bro. And, look, the high school days are long gone. But I remember being yoked and shit, playing strong safety. And then even a little afterwards, I mean, it wasn't playing strong safety, but I still kind of yoked in my younger days. But, man, you see that, you're like, yo, because you know what it takes, man. All that. Whoo, and the diet, too. That's something I got to change. But because you know they're mostly committed. They can have a cheap meal here and there, but when you see them just get it, you're like, bro. And it just inspires you, whereas the opposite is true of women. They see that like, oh no, they need to make me feel more comfortable. It's like, no, bitch, you need to get your ass up and go do something about your situation. All right, that's all it boils down to. But yeah, so back to that one girl's point, talking about she grew up in an all-white neighborhood. Look, I grew up in an all-black neighborhood in Crown Heights in Brooklyn, and I went to middle school in Brownsville, and so Mike Tyson's from Brownsville. Now, obviously, Mike Tyson's older than me, and it was probably worse during his time, but it still was a pretty rough ass area. For those you know, let me put it this way: the Chinese restaurant by PS 191, Empire Kitchen, had bulletproof glass, and they would slide the Chinese food to you. They would have like a makeshift handle, and they would just kind of push the food down to you, and they'd have like almost kind of like a rake, and they would grab the money that you'd place and bring it to them. So they were always protected. But let's continue the video.
Sweeney's jeans better. Like, why did you get that joke? All us woke people are saying is that it's just a little bit weird to directly reference European jeans as better.
Again, she never said that her jeans were better. You are making shit up.
Now, when you think of the all-American girl, like the standard of like American beauty, you probably think blonde hair, blue eyes, white girl, right? You're not supposed to think that way.
You're not supposed to think that way, guys. That's double plus ungood.
That's ingrained in you because of negative things that have been pushed on you by society.
When you think about the all-American woman, you should be thinking about an obese, transgender, disabled woman or something. What would be an acceptable vision of the American woman for this person? It's insane she's saying that we think Sydney Sweeney is hot because of negative things that have been pushed on us by society. No, bitch, we have eyes. And just because she is attractive does not mean you are also not attractive. Look at your full lips. That is a standard of beauty I'll never live up to. But that's okay, because I have other things that are beautiful and unique about me, just like you have other things that are beautiful and unique about you, regardless if Sydney Sweeney is held up as the American beauty standard.
So we'll pause the video right there, and then let me preface what I'm about to say. I'm not hitting on this girl, but, you know, since she's on the screen, you know, hey, Shoeonhead has really nice hands. I got to give her props on that. And, you know, she seems pleasant enough. I mean, I don't know her personally, but, you know, and obviously she's married, so someone liked what she had to offer. So, hey, you got to play the hand you dealt. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up. Obviously, she's not a supermodel. She'll admit she's not a supermodel. But, hey, maximize what you have, work with what you got, play your hand you dealt, basically. And, you know, look at that. Someone put a ring for her. I have no idea what her husband looks like. She's talked about him before in other videos, but, hey, man. So, she was able to, you know, work on her goals, find someone that you know, vibed with her. Hey, you know, that's what people need to focus on. Working on yourself, and then you'll find the person that will vibe with you. Let's continue in the video.
These are lessons your mother should have taught you, not a YouTuber. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows a cultural shift towards whiteness. Advertisements are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Boo! A white woman. Oh, the fucking author is white. I hate these people, man. Shut up. Shut up. It's one thing when it's like a non-white person talking about how white people suck. It's like, okay, you're just racist. But when it's a white person talking about white people suck, you need to be ground up into a pulp and fed to livestock. You would honestly be more useful that way. Ads are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Popular American culture is, indisputably, becoming more puritanical and more conservative. Puritanical? The focus of the ad was her tits and ass. This is not at all a conservative, puritanical ad. Have you seen what the puritanical right thinks of Sydney Sweeney? They think she's a whore, okay? They think she's a whore. The backlash has been swift and fierce, and some of it, at least if you ask me, is fair. The internet has been quick to condemn the advertisement as non-inclusive at best. Non-inclusive? Why the f*** does everything have to be inclusive? It's a commercial with one f***ing person in it. Sweeney exudes a source of vintage sexiness that caters to the male gaze. She embodies the near mythological girl next door beautiful but low maintenance sexy femininity that dominated the media in the 1990s and early 2000s. Oh wow, that sounds great. You're telling me that's fascism? Waiter, more fascism please. What the f***? It's just so funny, like, The left is currently losing their mind about
Yeah, and how? You know what? Let me have her finish your point. Hold on.
how, like, they need to get young men to vote for Democrats again. And here they are, like, blondes with big is are fascism. Listen, the alt-right pipeline does not start with the American Eagle ad. It starts with you. What do you do?
Yeah, so I mean, you saw they were pushing against, the girl next door, nice, sweet, attainable type of girl, how that's terrible. But what? We're supposed to sit there and idolize these 49ers? And for those who don't know what that is, it's a 4 that thinks they're a 9 with these stuck-up ass attitudes, thinking they're fucking the most beautiful thing ever to walk on this damn earth. Are we really supposed to want that instead? But back to Shoeonhead.
Doing. This is not at all a conservative far-right ad. It's just a normal ad that would have ran like 15 years ago. But I guess that's what being far-right is nowadays. Being normal from 15 years ago. I love this random part of the article though. Young women are being radicalized through so-called clean skincare and healthy eating. So fascism is hot people eating healthy and having clean skin. Goebbels himself could not make better propaganda. Literally, as I am editing this video, the New York Times comes out with his opinion piece, Why the Right is Obsessed with Thinness.
Okay, what they're really trying to push this whole obesity thing. Again, I know I need to lose weight, and I'm an older gentleman, all right, but I still need to keep myself in shape. I mean, I see Coach Greg Adams. I mean, that dude is... Man, what an inspiration. That man's, I think, almost 50, and that man is so yoked now. He's in such better shape. Like, that's some inspirational shit. But, dude, it's just thinness. You don't have to be, like, real thin, but at least have some pride. This is getting out of hand with people pushing this whole fatness. Like, fat is fucking beautiful. Fuck that shit. Thin is always in. And I don't know why they're trying... Well, I know why they're trying to shame people into thinking that the right is obsessed with thinness. Because, the right is seen as, like, the Antichrist. But whatever. But man, this shit needs to stop.
I would really, really appreciate if people stopped equating health and beauty to fascism, because if health and beauty are fascism, what is unhealthiness and ugliness? Unfortunately, a big part of socially progressive ideology is dismantling hierarchies and norms and challenging what society sees as conventional, traditional, and beautiful. A really good example of this was those statues that were put up like all over different cities of like a frumpy woman in leggings. And the artist says like the purpose of these was to like challenge conventional beauty standards. And it's like, imagine looking like one of these women and then hearing like, oh yeah, this was put up to challenge beauty. Like,
yeah, this shit's got to stop, man. Brainwashing people. And I also want to put a note here. Your boy's been eating celery and carrots, all right? Baby carrots and celery. I'm eating it like that crazy instead of like little snacks. So I think it's helping my skin too, eating that stuff. So yeah, guys, women, there's people, it don't matter what type of human you are. Start trying to eat cleaner, man. It's hard to do, it seems, with all this processed shit. But man, do you really want to look like that? I mean, maybe for this woman, if she's like 50-something years old and she had like 4 kids, okay, fine. But I mean, if you're 25 years old and you look like that, I'm sorry, something's wrong with you. I said what the fuck I said.
What do you mean by that? Remember the whole body positivity movement like 10 years ago? Remember like all the fat influencers? Remember when every single ad was like this ad, for example? Calvin Klein's latest underwear campaign is breaking big boundaries. Big boundaries? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean by that? While fashion is starting to seriously consider creating more inclusive environment for consumers, there is still a huge mountain to climb before it is truly considered diverse. Huge mountain? No, that's just mean. And that's why Calvin Klein, probably the most famous name associated with underwear, just launched a groundbreaking campaign. Groundbreaking? Oh, come on now. The campaign is all about feeling free to express yourself, being uninhibited, and being provocative by challenging the norms we see on a regular basis. See? Challenging norms. It's all about challenging norms. This reminds me of that protein world controversy from 2015. Old heads will remember. I wrote an article about it for the Libertarian Republic. Wow, that was a long time ago. But anyway, a billboard with this ad for
2015. Hey, that's the last time the Jets had a winning record. They were 10-6. That was a long time ago, Shoe.
protein powder supplement was put up and people lost their fucking minds. They vandalized it, they threatened to get a bunch of the employees fired, they threatened to go where the company was located with hammers, all because they committed the great crime of body shaming by daring to have a thin, attractive woman on their ad. This ad made other companies come out with their own like little virtue signaling things, like passive aggressive, like everybody is ready. Like every fashion magazine, every beauty magazine was pumping this out the time, just fat, 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 fat. The rise of like Tess Holiday and the hashtag F your beauty standards. Oh my god, you could not escape this. Also, suspiciously, body positivity only seemed to mean obese women.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that point, and that was my bad on the fast forward. I held down the mouse one, so that's on me. My bad, you. But yeah, I'll use myself. Imagine they put my ass on the cover of a magazine. They're like, bro, if you don't get your ass off this cover of this magazine right quick. But yeah, I always thought that was a bunch of bullshit. They're promoting all a bunch of fat broads, but I don't see no fat dudes in none of these little advertisements. So. Just throwing it out there. But my stance is, hey, man, get yourself in the best shape as you possibly can. At least you're comfortable with. I mean, obviously, if you have like a medical condition, I still do your best. But, hey, man, that's just not healthy. No, it's not attractive, nor is it healthy.
But yes, everywhere you looked, it was like fat, 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 and everyone was like, yes, queen! Well, now we live in Ozempic world, and the fat acceptance movement seems to have died. Like many of the fat influencers, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
And these same types of people are like crashing out about the Sydney Sweeney ad because they really do feel like all the work they have done to like socially engineer people's behavior and preferences has been just like destroyed overnight. Who would win? Decades of propaganda? One big booby girl. I wrote in the old article, I can't say I'm too surprised at the backlash towards this model's body. We are living in a world where instead of striving to better ourselves and live a healthy lifestyle, praising obesity and unattractiveness is becoming the norm. Well, Shoeonhead from 10 years ago, you will be happy to hear that it seems like it's no longer the norm. Because apparently not just American Eagle, but like Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's are using hot people in their ads again. Is the culture truly healing, or are we about to go into a deep financial recession? Questions we should be asking. Angry Reddit freaks also doxed Sydney, looking through her voting records and found out she is a registered Republican. One of the most common things I saw about this were how, like, all the women getting mad about Sydney Sweeney were ugly, and I don't think that's true. There were some, like, pretty people in there. But it got onto this topic that I see all the time, and that is, why are liberal women so ugly? Leftists are ugly, conservatives are hot, which is not true, by the way. I was at January 6th, okay? But for the most part, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? Conservatives are, well, conservative with the way that they present themselves. They tend to follow norms and beauty standards, which is why, for example, the media called Hassan a, quote, progressive in a MAGA body. And how so many women on dating apps nowadays are looking for a man who votes Democrat but looks like a Republican. Everyone is aware of the stereotypes. And with leftists, you know the stereotype, like the overweight, blue hair, nose ring. They're not all ugly, of course, but many purposely make themselves look ugly. Because being ugly is saying f you to the man. Marcel Duchamp's art piece, Fountain, which was literally just a urinal, was a f you to art institutions and classical ideas of beauty. Those f-ass ugly concrete block brutalist buildings are another example. Brutalism emerged after World War II as a post-war modernist style, in part created as a f you to the classical architecture celebrated by, drumroll, the Nazis. Now think of those concrete buildings and the urinal and apply it to broader society. Basically, the blue hair and nose ring is a f you to, well, Sydney Sweeney. Hitler existed, so now everything has to be fat and ugly. Sorry. I don't know why so many on the left want to give the concept of beauty and health to the right, but it is not a winning strategy. Listen, I just want everyone's basic needs met, alright? I don't want people going in debt if they get into a car accident, or be homeless, or get sent to foreign wars. I didn't sign up for this stupid shit. It is funny though how like every time Sydney Sweeney is on camera, there's like a right-wing article like, woke is dead. Wokeness is no match for Sydney Sweeney's undeniable beauty. Are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? Was that girl right about conservatives being boob guys? She might have been right after all. Honestly, this doesn't really make sense because like, The left are the ones trying to normalize porn and like OnlyFans culture and stuff like that. If anything, there is too much boobs everywhere. We need to calm down a bit. But when it comes to Sydney's like classical bombshell beauty, like I kind of get where they're coming from. Sydney Sweeney is a hot white woman who does not mind catering to the male gaze after we had a decade of hearing about how the male gaze is bad and toxic. A decade of hearing about how white people are bad and toxic. A decade of ugly, angry, fat androgyny seeping its way into everything and anything. When people say Sydney Sweeney is anti-woke, I don't even think they mean politically. I think they just mean like Sydney Sweeney is like looking into a time portal back to 1992. A time when porn addiction wasn't such a big issue. Every woman didn't show her hole online for $5. Hookup apps didn't exist. It's like a bunch of millennials and zoomers are longing for a time they never experienced. But yes, this is a cultural shift, but not necessarily a conservative one. Just a return to like normalcy, a return to normal Americana consumerism. In 2065, conservatives are gonna be like posting people twerking like, return! These same TikTok freaks who are attacking Sydney Sweeney have been sounding the alarm about this cultural shift for some time now. And we see a bunch of celebrities embracing like looking normal and healthy again. Like Demi Lovato is a perfect example of this. She was an obese, short hair, walking stereotype, crying about a frozen yogurt place daring to sell sugar-free frozen yogurt.
I walked in, was so triggered that I left without froyo.
To now being skinny and healthy and married, and even making a TikTok dancing happily in that same frozen yogurt place.
The singer returning to the scene of the crime.
Yo, I didn't know she was looking like that for a bit. I mean, I know of her, I just wasn't like really a fan of her. But man, kudos to her for getting back in to a healthy weight. But damn, that's crazy. Whew.
Wednesday, poking fun at herself on her social.
That's part of the reason these people are freaking out and saying like fascist aesthetics, because they know the chokehold they have had on culture is losing its grip. Inshallah. Once Sam Smith goes back to being normal, that's when I know the culture is healing. Thankfully, American Eagle did not bend the knee and did not apologize to the horde. In fact, they doubled down. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. Wait a minute. Her genes, her story. HH. Uh-oh. Now, I can sit here and say the obvious.
Yo, shout out. yo, man. Okay. Whew. Got that out my system. That shit is classic. Oh, her genes, her story. Alright, let's finish this up and I'll have some closing thoughts.
It's like, these corporations just want to pander to you. They just want to sell you like, yeah, obviously. But have you considered, it's good when corporations pander to me, personally? I just realized so much of American political discourse is like around f***ing corporations and ads. The Gillette commercial, Bud Light, Protein World. There are so many examples. Like, it's just crazy how so much of our politics revolves around consuming things. I will buy blue team product. I will buy red team product. Bleak. In conclusion, we are tired of ugly. There's hot people in ads again. The white woman is back, baby. Let's go. 500 trillion more to Israel. Nobody can afford a fucking house. World is run by pedophiles. But woke is dead, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. So if you like this video, please subscribe and maybe donate to me on Patreon. Link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored version of every single video a day early. So you get to hear all the f***s and shits uncensored. If you can't or don't want to do that, there's also a little tip jar down below. You can leave a little tip and I will give it a little heart. It helps the channel out and I appreciate it so much. Also, big shout out to Holtzkern again for sponsoring this video. Check them out, link down below. And I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!
Alright, shout out to Shoeonhead for sure. She's been in this space for a long time. I've watched several of her videos. Probably close to 100. I don't know. You know, time just keeps moving. You know, who knows? But final thoughts on this. But yeah, definitely we need to just go back to normalcy. Like, look, no one's gonna be accepted everywhere. You know, no matter how hard we try, you're not gonna be included in everything. Not everything is going to be for everyone. It's just how it is. But man, good to see the white woman is back. Yo, that was a classic line by her. Oh man, I don't know. What more can be said? She covered a lot here, but final thoughts, coherent final thoughts is look, hey man, let's appreciate beauty while it's here before we all end up like what's that movie? Wally, all fucking fat in a chair, moving around, eating crappy food and getting that one outfit or what have you. Oh my God, let's fight that because if we get to that point, we'll be much more easy to control. So a healthy body generally translates to a healthy mind. Generally, not always. Obviously, there are plenty of fucking skinny people or in shape people who are out of their damn mind. So, that said, man, take care of each other. Enjoy life. Don't take things too seriously when it comes to things like this. We should be focused on the financial aspect. Make as much money as you can. Try to save as much as you can. Because things aren't looking great. But keep fighting. Till next time.